This story is called My Little Pony, Glory the Magic Unicorn. Hi everyone and welcome to your My Little Pony read-along book. Every time you hear this chime, ding, it means it's time to turn the page in your storybook. You know what, this isn't going to work, because I am not playing the record right now. I'm just going to read it to you, and I'll turn the pages, and there won't be any chiming. Okay? Alright, let's start. Have you ever felt sad for no particular reason? Sometimes, even on the nicest of days, it's possible to feel blue. Glory the unicorn was having a day just like that. Early that morning, she had wandered off from her friends, and as she walked along, alone, she thought to herself, sometimes it's no fun being a magical creature in a real world. In fact, it even gets a little lonely. How I wish I could be in another world, a magical world, where I could feel at home. Now, you and I can make all the wishes we want, but unless we work hard at making our wishes come true, nothing will change. However, when you're a magic unicorn like Glory, you have to be very careful when you make a wish, because it's easy for unicorn wishes to come true. Glory was about to find this out the hard way. For the moment her wish to be in another world crossed her lips, a strange feeling came over her. As she looked around, the real world began to fade away. Every shiny spot, like dewdrops on the tall grass and pebbles in the stream, began to grow brighter. Then in one crazy instant, the sky began spinning like a top. It spun so fast all the colors blurred together as if someone had spilled a cup of water on a paint box. Glory felt dizzy as she gazed on in wonder. When the spinning stopped and Glory opened her eyes, she saw a most peculiar sight. The familiar landscape was gone. In its place was the strangest world you can imagine. It was a world filled with magic enough to answer anyone's wishes. The trees nearby were green and gold and covered with presents. Each flower bloomed in the shape of something sweet and wonderful to eat. Glory stopped next to a bush of cherry tarts and looked around trying to get her bearings. I must have wished awfully hard, thought the bewildered unicorn, because my wish for a magical world seems to have come true. You can see here Glory in her magical world. See the cherry tart bush. Ice cream cone bushes too. Cool. Up ahead, at the end of a long tree-lined path, Glory saw a beautiful sight. There, shining in the sunlight, was a silver palace. Bright red and blue banners fluttered from its towers, and a steady stream of people were making their way in and out of the huge palace doors. As long as I'm here, I may as well take a good look around, said Glory. Glory decided. Why did I say that? After all, I've never seen a magical world before. So Glory started bravely down the path towards the strange silver palace. You can see the path, the silver palace with the banners on the rooftop, and there's a steady stream of people coming in and out. To Glory's surprise, she was able to open the door and enter the palace with no problem. I guess that in a magic world like this, people just take magic for granted. Is opening a door magical? I don't know. Anyway, all around her, Glory saw signs that this was true. A farmer with a heavy cart of apples unloaded them all at once with a wave of his hand. A mother with a dirty child didn't need to scold the child, but rather snapped her fingers and the child was clean again. Seems like a great way to learn a life lesson. No consequences. Strangest of all was the old woman who floated up to the front of her house and inside her second-floor window rather than walk up the steps. My pony friends will never believe this, thought Glory in amazement. You can see the old woman floating up into the window of her house. That's pretty cool. The apple unloading farmer. And the child who's not getting any consequences for his actions. Suddenly, up ahead in the street, an old man appeared. His long blue robe and bushy white beard convinced Glory that she was about to meet a wizard. Are you a good wizard or a bad wizard? She asked. Sounds strangely familiar, like that one movie. The wizard smiled. Can you tell the difference? He asked. I don't know, replied Glory. Well, in that case, it doesn't make very much difference what kind of wizard I am. It's really creepy. With that, the wizard invited Glory to visit him in his chambers, and the foolish young unicorn accepted, which, as you will see, was a very silly thing for Glory to do. Yeah, The wizard's chamber was dark, and Glory nearly tripped over his workbench cluttered with jars and bowls filled with all kinds of strange things. The moment she was inside, Glory heard the door slam shut behind her. She sensed danger, but it was too late. Of course she sensed danger if the door shuts behind her, slams behind her. She sensed danger. Oh, this writing. "Welcome, my pretty young unicorn," cackled the wizard in a voice that was nothing like the kind voice he had spoken in earlier. "It's been years since I've seen such a specimen. Unicorns are very rare, even around here." What do you want?" stammered Glory in a frightened voice. "Merely the most valuable magic potion in all the world," said the evil wizard with a grin. "I want your horn," and opening a book of spells he began to chant. "All of the treasures made or born, the rarest is the unicorn. And now, by magic, you are shorn. Behold, I now possess your horn." Glory tried to sound braver than she was feeling at that moment. "I bet your stupid spell didn't work on me, mean wizard," she cried. "Look in the mirror and see for yourself." Glory ran to the mirror, and what she saw brought tears to her eyes. Sure enough, her beautiful horn was gone. You can see she has a tear right there. The wizard laughed as he pointed to the door and shouted at Glory, "I've got what I wanted. Now be gone!" Tearfully, Glory left the wizard's chamber and wandered through the long halls of the palace, sad and alone. "I thought it was bad to be magical in an ordinary world, but to be ordinary in a magical world is even worse." As she rounded a corner, Glory saw someone who looked even sadder than she did. There, by a palace window, sat a young boy gazing out at the bright world beyond. Glory walked up beside him and nuzzled his shoulder. "What's wrong?" she asked. "I thought I was sad, but you look even sadder." Seeing a friendly face, the young boy told Glory his story. "My name is Prince Rudolph, and this is my father's castle. Although I am very young, I have already discovered that it is not easy being different from others. Because my father is king, I cannot play with other boys, and people tell me only what they think I wish to hear, and not the truth." Oh, that's pretty deep. "I understand what it's like to be different," Glory said softly. Why do they do that? They should put the part where it says Glory said softly before, so you know to say it softly when you're reading it out loud. "I understand what it's like to be different," said Glory softly. "Now that the wizard has taken my horn, I have lost my magic. This makes me different from everyone else in your land, too." Prince Rudolph nodded. "My father's wizard, Omar, can be a rascal at times. He has no right taking your thorn. Unicorns are special creatures. Your horn. Thorn, what did I say? Unicorns are special creatures and deserve our respect. But do not fear, Glory. I shall help you get your horn back. In that way, I'll be able to prove to everyone in the castle that I'm not just a spoiled child." "The wizard seems very powerful," said Glory. "Can we really get my horn back?" "Like everyone else, the wizard has his weaknesses," said the prince. "But if we come up with a clever plan, I'm certain we can do it." Later that day, Rudolph and Glory made their way to Omar's chamber. "You wait outside until I call your name," whispered the young prince to the unicorn as he turned the handle on the big wooden door and walked inside. And see, I only knew to sort of whisper that because I glanced ahead and saw that it said whisper, but otherwise I would have been completely lost. Omar rose from his workbench and bowed to the prince. "I am honored, my prince," he said. "What brings you to this humble servant's chambers?" Rudolph was very clever. He had a story ready to fool the old wizard. "As you know, Omar," he began, "as prince I have everything I want, but there is one thing I'd like that even my father's power cannot bring to me." "And what is that, child?" "Why, the moon, of course. I see it every night outside my window, but I cannot reach it. Use your magic, old wizard, and get the moon for me, or my father will be greatly displeased." "Well, the moon, you say? That is no small task." I'll show you a picture of this one. Wizard. It says wizard on his door, in case you didn't know that the wizard lived there. "But for a wizard as great and as powerful as you, Omar, even the moon must be in your reach, I'm sure. Please, great wizard, do this small thing for me." "Small thing indeed," grumbled Omar. Then aloud he replied, "I shall have to fly about for a while and think about this. I do my best thinking while I'm flying." "Glory, Glory, come quickly," called Rudolph as soon as the wizard had flown out the window. "We haven't a moment to waste." See, there's the wizard flying out the window. The prince calling to Glory, as the wizard is still in earshot. So I'm not really sure. Maybe he's deaf when he's flying. Only when he's flying. Glory ran inside as Rudolph shouted to her, "I found the book of spells the wizard used when he stole your horn. Let me try this one." Spirits of... Just try this one. Let's not even read it. Spirits of darkness, spirits of light, you who were bid by the wizard's songs, do what is good, do what is right. Place the horn of the unicorn where it belongs. In the twinkling of an eye, Glory's beautiful white horn reappeared on her forehead. She was magical once again. And there you have it. New horn. It's the same one, but it's back. By the time the wizard returned to his room, Glory and Rudolph were already outside the palace on a nearby hilltop. How can I ever thank you for all your help, Rudolph? Asked Glory. It is I who should thank you, said the prince as he stroked Glory's shiny mane. When word spreads through the palace of how I tricked Omar, my people will view me in a new light. What a wonderful day it has been! Glory was seeing things in a new light, too. Never again would she regret being different from the other ponies. Her magic made her special, and she liked that. Young Prince Rudolph waved goodbye as his new friend Glory the Magic Unicorn closed her eyes and wished herself home again. And there you have it, the end of the book. That was a great story. 10 out of 10. Would read again.